Have you ever used VLOOKUP and ended up with error values in your worksheets? In this video, I will show you how to combine IFERROR and VLOOKUP to make your reports look professional. So for those of us who are not quite familiar with VLOOKUP, there are four components that makes up a VLOOKUP formula: the lookup value, the table array, the column number, and the exact match. For the table on my left hand side, I have the code, the name, and the value. But you notice that for the table on my right hand side, the name and the value column is empty. So what I want to do is to use VLOOKUP to get the name. So to get the name and the value, I'm going to use VLOOKUP to look up the codes that I have here to get the names and the values. So equals to VLOOKUP bracket open. The first criteria here is my lookup value, which is the codes on my table, comma, and the second criteria is the table array. So the table array is the table where I want to get the names and the values for the table I'm working with. So if I come to the table array, what VLOOKUP is saying is that I should select the whole table. So beginning from column C, where I have the codes, I'm going to have to select the whole table to the end. That is what is called table array. So your lookup value is what you're looking for. And where are you looking for it? In this area. So in this area is the table array, which is your entire table. So now that I'm able to select the area, the next thing that I want to do is to tell Excel what exactly I am looking for. And what are we looking for? We are looking for names. You see that after the codes, we have the name. So VLOOKUP, we count the first column here as 1. And VLOOKUP is going to count the second column here as 2 and column E as 3. Now that we have selected the table array, which is our entire table, and I click comma, the next thing I want to look for is the column number. So what column exactly are we looking for? Is column D. So on my formula, I am going to enter 2. Every time I meet up a particular criteria, I click comma, because comma is automatically telling VLOOKUP that I am done with that criteria. I want to move to the next criteria. So the last criteria is the exact match. So the exact match says that if you do not find the exact code on that table, don't return anything, not even anything that looks like it. But if I use one, I'm saying that, for example, if you don't find 1003, give me something that is closest to 1003, right? Just give me something that looks like it. So to be on the safe side, you're going to have to use 0, which is an exact match. So if you don't find what I'm looking for, don't give anything that looks like it. Just return that it is not there. Close brackets and enter. Drag it. So we have successfully done that for our names, and we are going to also do it for our value. Now that we have gotten the names, I'm going to do same to get the value. Equals to VLOOKUP bracket open, the lookup value, remember, which is our code, comma, the table array. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for column E, which is the third column on the table that we have selected. So because my table started from column C, column 1, 2, 3. So column E becomes number 3, and I'll enter 0. Close brackets and enter. Now we want to combine it with IFERROR. So IFERROR comes in the event that I look up this table and I don't find what I'm looking for. Let's say, for example, I did not have 1003 on my table array, right? And because I don't have that code on my table array, by the way, I have the name, but I don't have the code. So Mary is on the table, but Mary does not have a code. Let's say it's a new employee that eventually does not have an ID number, but the name of the employee is on your list. If I look up, it's going to return any, and it's also going to show on my value, I'm going to be having this. And because of that, it's going to affect my sum also, because I have this error value here. And this is going to make your work real messy. For a data analyst, this is not professional. So for you to make this very professional, what I'm just going to do is to add an IFERROR statement. An IFERROR statement will tell us that this is not there. We can use an IFERROR statement to say things like, this is not found. So whatever you want to see is what you eventually would do with an IFERROR statement. So to add an IFERROR statement to what we already have, equals to if error bracket open, VLOOKUP lookup value, the table array, the column number, and the exact match. Close brackets. And at the end of my brackets, I put a double quotes, enter. Mind you, where I have the double quotes, I can decide to adjust it. So in between the double quotes, you can say not found and drag. So if any of these numbers are not consistent in my table, so if I take out any of these numbers, so for example 1006 is not there, it will return not found. And I'm going to do the same thing for my lookup value, if error. But on my lookup value, instead of having not found, I will use hyphen and I will drag it down. So I'm saying that in the event that you don't find any of these codes, return not found. So however, I can always make changes and say, okay, instead of having not found, it does not exist. And next thing I want to do is to go further to add conditional formatting to say that if text contains it does not exist, return red. So this is a simple way on how to source your data using VLOOKUP and IFERROR function to avoid error values and to maintain consistent and accurate reporting. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.